welcome to another edition of the Motor City Man Mouth Show. Am I loud enough? Probably. Of course.
Yeah,
I went to Outback Canada.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, yeah, it's okay. I went to the Outback today, and what an unbelievable thing. I'm going to tell you, I enjoy going there. They gave me my gasoline to keep me going, among other things, and we didn't mind paying a price to keep me rolling. All right, well, we want to, here we got Steve, we got Ed, we have our newest member of the crew, Jennifer Horspool, PR, you know it. Okay, so get ready for Jen. This woman is, in the eyes of Jimmy Walker, she's dynamite. Boy, I'll tell you, it happens to give me a little caffeine, people. That's great stuff. And look at Candy. I'll tell you, she's looking at all
Candy's,
the
yeah.
Shaking her head like always.
What am I aiming for?
Yeah, don't worry. You got 2 tonight. Don't worry about it. Anyways, let's get to the good stuff. We're getting to the appetizer. So let's hear it. We got to ease Jennifer in. So a TV news anchor in the Philippines brought her dog to work because no one was home to look after him. In Davao, Philippines, ABS-CBN reporter Melanie Severino brought her young dog to work because no one was home to care for him. Unbelievable stuff, eh? So let's continue the narrative. During the live broadcast, a TV patrol in southern Mindanao, viewers saw a professional news anchor delivering the day's headline, but below the desk, her puppy was curled up on the studio floor, quietly sleeping through the broadcast. Don't sleep through this one, man. I'll wake you up really good. When the behind-the-scenes photos were shared online, the moment quickly went viral. People loved it because it showed the softer side of a serious workplace. And the reality, many pet owners know too well, sometimes you do what you have to do for the ones who depend on you, even if it is an animal. Okay. Adam Lemerace going to be on tonight at 9 o'clock. Going to have a lot of fun with this guy. It was a small moment, but heartwarming reminder that compassion can show up anywhere, even in the newsroom. Steve, this is a media story, I think. Go ahead. Steve?
He seems frozen.
Steve froze. Yeah, he looks frozen.
You scared him frozen. You've lauded him frozen there, Scott. Oh, I think this is a fantastic story. I think, you bring in pets like that, you bring a dog. I've worked places. I've had clients that have allowed, having dogs, they have a dog day or pets or so on. I think it's I think it, in some respects, dogs and pets are better than people. So, it's, I think it's great. I think it also, it creates they create I don't know, it brings everybody together because everybody wants to see the dog. Everybody wants to see the cat. Everybody wants to see whatever you brought in. So it brings a very good synergy, a very good camaraderie, synergy, and so on. Yeah. Vibe. Thank you, Vibe. Thank you, Jennifer. Vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. I mean, as a dog mom myself who brings her dog to work every single day, I think it's fantastic. And it is a great unifier. And just like you said, I think people are naturally drawn. There are a few people that do have a couple of phobias and fears. So you do have to address a few things, you know what I mean? But then just keep your dog away from those people. A couple people have allergies. That's the only probably the bad part. I don't know. Steve, you're back. You're unfrozen.
Ahead, Steve.
Oh, did he freeze again?
Yeah.
He just was unfrozen. I took up his time. Darn.
Bringing a dog to.
Maybe shut down some stuff, Steve. I don't know if you have more things open on your computer.
No. Yeah. No.
Maybe he's part of the storms. Where does Steve live?
Yeah, we've been hit with some weather too.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
You're back, Steve.
All right, you're back, Steve. Let's get to the Philippines so we can come back to Fort Myers. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in bringing a dog to work. On this podcast and several others, mine has continuously jumped in my lap when I'm not paying enough attention to him, and he's been on here more than once.
Aw.
Yeah. You gotta love these animals. Gotta love these animals. I have a service cat, people. Rusty. Anybody hasn't seen the cat, I'll put a picture of him up before long. All right. So, yeah, Steve, I guess that Philippine thing did the right thing, didn't she?
There he is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, now he's going to bring the puppy up.
Oh, look
Oh,
at that
there
one.
So now
Oh,
Steve and
yeah.
the Philippines lady have
So
somebody coming. They got their
cute.
puppy. Great stuff.
Now the numbers are going to go through the roof for this show tonight. The dog.
Yeah, they
it's
probably
become
will.
You
nuts.
hear him?
Yes.
Where's my Bruno? Here's mine. Mine, I have to beg to be a lap dog, though. He's not a lap dog. I'm
Is
jealous.
that a
of
French?
your lap
Is
dog.
that a French bulldog, Steve?
Yes, he
Okay.
is. And he
See,
thinks he rules the house. So,
And he does probably.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, he does.
He rules the house and he rules the heart. Unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on. A lot to get to tonight here on the Motor City Mad Mouse Show. Scott Morganroth, please be joined by Steve Ballesteri, Ed McAndrew, Jennifer Horspool, and Rusty. My service cat.
Very cute.
Yeah, and he's also going to be on. And
Oh, that's a great picture.
Yeah,
All
that's
not that the other one was bad, but that's like, yeah. It's like, oh, can Scott just? It's like, oh, Scott, you're still talking loud. So loud.
I'll be loud all night.
Sorry.
You're just getting the front end of it. That's
I'm
all
only.
Anything else you want to add to this, Candy?
I think it's great. I mean, let's face it, if you can bring it, a lot of people have animals as emotional support, and it helps to diffuse situations, I think, and and bring a calmness to a lot of people. So I totally understand.
Okay, let's continue on. Lots to get to here in the Motor City Man Mouth Show. Norway donates its FIFA World Cup proceeds to Gaza humanitarian aid. A single football match helped raise millions for humanitarian aid. The Norwegian Football Federation dedicated the net proceeds from its 2026 World Cup qualifier against Israel to Doctors Without Borders, supporting medical relief for civilians affected by the crisis in Gaza. Some thoughts, Steve?
He conveniently froze again. It's very convenient of him.
There you go, back. Steve. You're back. All right. Did you catch that, Steve? All right. Well, I see a little bit of movement there. Is there more movement? I don't know.
Steve, are you hearing any of this or no?
Yeah, I heard the beginning of it. Let's just hope they use it for humanitarian aid. Gaza doesn't have a great track record on such things. And if you've ever been there, they could have had a Riviera there. I mean, that the coastline in Gaza is absolutely gorgeous. And, they chose to build rockets, and let's hope they use it for humanitarian aid this time.
Okay.
I think it's great what they're doing. But to Steve's point, anytime you go in there, you got to make sure it funnels to the right way and doesn't get into the bad guys' hands, and it actually goes to the people of Gaza are like you and I. They're not the bad guys. They're just stuck in the middle between political ideologies fighting. So so getting them just the basic humanitarian needs that they need. That's I think that as a world, we at a minimum we have to do. And the fact that Norway has kind of stepped up and said, we can do this for them, I think that's a great example to set. And they raised the bar high. It'd be nice to see more countries do that, this country included, but here we are.
Here we are.
Go ahead, Jen.
Well, I mean, I think to the point, I would talk about all NGOs and making sure that I think we need better policing across the board on NGOs and how money that's donated is being spent. And I don't know, I mean, whose responsibility that is, but it's sort of everyone's responsibility. And yet I don't think anyone claims it and no one does it. And that's how all the fraud is happening. It's kind of ridiculous all the way back to even during Haiti. Remember when there was the whole crisis at Haiti, and like the money was there, the resources were there, the food was there, the supplies were there, but no one could access it. It's like, what in the world? Like,
exactly.
How are people starving and dying right there with all the supplies right here rotting? That's to me the bigger issue with all of it, and something I think that we need to address on a global scale.
Candy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's admirable that Norway's doing that and giving back. If we all could give a little bit back, this world would be a better place.
Okay. Well, I mean, I like that Norway's participating, doing what they're doing. They had a great run in the World Cup. They really, really did. And for them, and if you've ever been to Norway, it's just an awesome place. It really, really is. So, well, you know how Arthur Blank bought the Atlanta Falcons? Well, I'll tell you right now. Did you know that Arthur Blank was fired from Handy Dan Home Improvement Centers in 1978? And that job loss directly preceded the creation of the Home Depot. Everybody heard of the Home Depot? I hope so.
It's a great founder story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. Which is, I like coming up with these, Jen. Don't worry, sweetheart. You're going to see plenty of them. But there we go. Which has grown since into one of the largest retailers in the United States as of December of 2025. Home Depot's market capitalization was approximately $348 billion. That's all. Blank later purchased the Atlanta Falcons in 2002 for $545 million. Drop in the bucket for this guy. Forbes valued the franchise at $6.35 billion in the 2025 valuation. Steve, this one is closer to home. It's a sport we talk about a lot.
Yes, and I remember this story being talked about quite a bit when the Falcons were in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. They were talking about Arthur Blank and how getting fired might have been the best thing that ever happened to him. It was probably the best thing that ever happened to with Home Depot coming, right? Now it's a juggernaut, and good for him. I love stories like this. Guy gets canned, and then he goes and makes billions of dollars and thumbs his nose at the guys who let him go.
Right.
And that Atlanta Falcons franchise now, it's worth 12 times what it was when he bought it. So good for him.
He's a multiplier.
Yes.
Yes.
Not a bad role in life.
No.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
No,
that's an incredible story. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And it's great. And those kind of stories like him, Michael Jordan got cut from the sophomore basketball team. The Rock got cut from football, from the professional football team, goes on to become a professional wrestler, then is one of the biggest box office stars today. We hear a lot of those stories, and I think these are stories that kids need to be, and I say kids, young adults, need to be, we need to kind of hammer those home more, because I think we have a generation of people that are afraid. Nobody's afraid to lose, afraid to fail, and you can't be afraid to fail, because after that failure, Arthur Blank, Michael Jordan and The Rock, they moved on into the greatness. Just because you fail once doesn't mean it's the end, and that's what makes life so so.
Well, I remember reading about a Hollywood director way, way, way back, long before any of us were born. And the director wanted to fire Fred Astaire because he was like, I don't know who told this guy he could dance.
Yeah, he could dance. I've heard that story too. Yeah, I've heard that story. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. He wanted to fire him. Yeah, he taught this guy this guy can't dance.
Yeah, it's like, I think you missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, it goes to show you that one person's opinion is just that, one person's opinion.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And the blessings come in strange disguises, because, Michael Jordan getting kicked off the team, he made him have to reevaluate his entire life. You know what I mean? What do I want?
Mm-hmm.
And go back and practice and actually get serious. Tom Brady not getting recruited until the 6th round. You know what I mean? Like no one thought anything of him. And he's like, no, this is who I am. No, that's not who I am. You don't get to define me. And then the Home Depot story has long been one of my favorites because I got to work with them, back in the 90s. And so I learned about their story, and their story really is that they brought the Home Depot idea to their bosses, and they were like, this is the stupidest idea ever. And then they left all the way to the bank, so.
Yeah, exactly. They're like,
so meanwhile, so get this. Jennifer debut show is one of her favorite stories with the Home Depot, right?
It is. This is legit.
And the old eyes of religion. Hallelujah, baby. Sorry.
Love it.
I couldn't hold myself. All right, kid. Great stuff.
Candy, you get this 24/7, 365.
I am well aware of that. And when you say 24/7, you mean 24/7.
Never
sleep. Never know.
Exactly. At least her hair color hasn't changed yet.
Oh, it's starting to. Don't worry.
That's okay. That's whatever. Everybody ages naturally. I just age unnaturally. Go ahead, Candy.
Oh, I don't even age, so I refuse. I'm done with that.
Well, there's a reason why. There's a reason why you look as good as you do, because you don't age. If your doctor's ever told you got a 50-year-old body, 50-year-old and a 9-year-old body before, then we'll see how everybody thinks about this. Go ahead, Candace.
That's less fun.
No, I think it's a really cool story. I mean, let's face it, anytime you hear these kind of stories when someone, comes out of nowhere and, has success, it's great. Love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the Atlanta Falcons.
And what he did with the Falcons. Go ahead.
Right, and no, I'm just saying, I mean, you can even go back further to the Ray Kroc McDonald's story. I mean, he invented fast food, and back before then, I mean, his concept was so revolutionizing that, people were kind of like, what? We're going to, we can get it to go and we can kind of sit down with it. I mean, what is this? And stuff like that. So, you learn a lot on Foods That Built America.
Yep.
Good shows. But no, I mean, I think there's a lot of stories like that here in America where, somebody falls down, they figure it out, they get back up, and you just got to keep believing, and you just got to. Problem is, I think today a lot of people, once they get knocked down, they can't get up again.
That's why tub thumping is my theme song.
There you go. Good, you picked up the reference. Okay,
this lady told me you need to get another theme song, and I'm like, but resilience is the key of life. Like, what do you mean get another theme song? It's just like,
it is.
Well, why don't you celebrate something so you don't get knocked down? I'm like, life is getting knocked down. I get up again. You're never going to keep me down.
There you go. Good. All right.
Well, I need to meet Chumbawamba.
Yeah, that's right. I love Chumbawamba.
I'll tell you, if anybody likes Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, I like the rope a dope. So you can knock me around. I'll come back. That's the way
I had a college professor tell me, don't ever consider writing for a living.
Oh,
really?
And look at you now.
Yeah, look at you. I mean,
yeah, I send him a thank you note every year. So.
That's cool.
Handwritten, I take it. Handwritten.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, even Hannah Waddington, the actress that owns the football team on Ted Lasso, she was told by her acting coach in high school, what is she like? They don't hire fat little girls for acting roles, and she's beautiful. She's voluptuous. She's like how Jessica Rabbit looks in real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is just,
All right, let's keep it rolling. Alan Greenspan, economist and longtime head of the Federal Reserve, dies at the age of 100. Alan Greenspan, what a legacy this guy has. You think about it, he steered the U.S. monetary policy during the 5 terms as chairman of the Federal Reserve under 4 presidents, has died. He's 100 years of age. He's survived by his wife, Andrea Mitchell, 29 years old. Can you imagine what that age difference is? Anyways, he was a giant man who helped shape the U.S. economy for decades under presidents of both parties, but always honest and acknowledging his mistakes. And his wife says to me, he was my husband and shaped my life from the very first date in 1984. Don't worry, Candy, I shaped yours from the very first second.
You are.
You'll do it,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just start feeding me at a restaurant. Anything can happen, like she did. But anyways, Greenspan helped. That's one way to keep me quiet. Just feed me. Okay, help shape modern. Yeah, I'm giving everybody a real romance story. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, 100 years old.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
And like you said, so many presidents on both sides of the aisle. He was always the guy that everyone tuned into on the news, right, to hear what was going on with the economy, because he'd always tell it straight. And that was the thing. He didn't take sides, right? And he was he's a guy that'll be missed, I think.
Right.
I mean, long life, long career, super impactful, but are we just going to forget about 2008?
Yeah.
Are we just going to not, to me,
well,
I mean,
everyone strikes out on occasion.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That's not a strikeout. That's I didn't even show up and pitch,
wait a minute.
That's striking out with the bases loaded in the World Series.
He retired in 2006.
2006, right? But when did it all start? In 2004 to 2006 was all the sweeping under the rug. So that happened by 2008. He's not immune. He doesn't get scot-free off of it. I mean, could his life have been easy? You know what I mean? He had big responsibilities, much bigger than mine. But that was the problem, is no one was doing their own responsibilities during those years,
right? Because
everybody was making too much money. And even I, a little peon who doesn't understand any of that, was calling it out. So if I'm calling it out, everybody else was just sticking their head in the sand, because if I know it, everyone knows it. They just don't want to see it.
But I think, to Steve's point, I think where he was impartial. He was impartial to the political poll that we're seeing today, and I think that's important in the sense that the Fed chair has to be independent and make the monetary decisions based on his or her best decisions on the data that they have in front of them, ethically, whatever, and sometimes. And again, that's way above this. All that stuff is way above my pay grade too. But yeah, so I mean, I'd like to. I'll tell you this much: I prefer to see a 50-year-old Alan Greenspan at the Fed chair right today than what we have.
The only thing I'm going to say about this story is this: if you've actually worked for 4 presidents, you're doing something right.
Right.
Oh,
because you're talking about a country that has 2 different parties, at least as I know, Republican and Democrat, but this guy worked for 4 different ones regardless. That speaks volumes in itself.
Yeah, it wasn't as dividing, though. You know what I mean? We still had compromise. We still had all the way in through, the compromise started going away with W. No one wanted to go, oh, that's not my president. That's when that's not my president started.
Yeah, right.
And then by the time we got to Obama, so much had been ignored. That's when it was just the flip-flop. Okay, my side, your side. And now there's 2, and now it's so exaggerated because of AI and social media and the way we do media today. People want to own their audience. I own your audience by knowing how you think, how you vote, what makes you hot under the collar. If I can stir up emotions in you, you're going to keep coming back, and I'm going to keep feeding those emotions. We're on an emotional trigger machine right now. It has nothing to do with politics, everything to do with owning the vote and owning the people's emotions.
Okay, great stuff, Jen. I knew you were going to bring a lot to this show, right, Steve and Ed? What do you think of your new teammate? Is this woman bright? What?
I don't know. Am I allowed to think anything different? I'm kidding.
Yes, you are. You can think anything you want.
I know.
I'm used to people not liking me. It's okay.
No. It's more messing with Scott than No, I think
Yeah, well, I'm used to that.
Scott,
So-
she's doing perfect. She's perfect, Scott. She's a gem.
I'll tell you, I'm going to get this show right for the last thing I do. And I'll tell you, I won't stop talking until I do get it right. I'm still not going to stop talking.
Well,
All
yeah,
right,
I was going to
Candy.
say, are you going to stop talking even if you get it right?
Well, I like stop talking when I have people I can defer to. That way I can continue to play the behind the scenes role, such as executive producer, and say something when I need to. And this is exactly what I enjoy about this particular format, because I can sit back and be an executive producer. For those of you that don't know a lot about me, back in 1979, I was a producer for WXYZ Radio in the ABC affiliate Detroit, working on a sports talk show. So I know what it's like to work behind the scenes and then get my opportunity on the air. And now in this particular new media age, I'm able to do that and be able to do both. And that's why when you surround yourself with excellent people, show in and show out. This is just fun stuff. All right, Candy, got last word. A lot more to get to on the Motor City Madmouth. Thank you very much for joining us. A lot more things on the way. Stay with us. Go ahead, Candy.
Let's not forget, Ronald Reagan nominated him first. And he took office. He was confirmed on August 11th of 1987. Now, let's not forget 1987, there was the stock market crash.
Right.
That, he affirmed today is readiness to serve as a source of liquidity to support the economic and financial system. And he almost had as much economic impact as a lot of the presidents did.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Sure.
And that's something, that I think we kind of forget. And let's not forget that before he even started this, he had a 32-year stint as a chairman and president of Townsend Greenspan and Company before he even became, into the 13th chair of the Federal Reserve. Long career.
Impactful life.
Yeah, he lived a full life. I mean, 100, 101, whatever. I mean, that's.
Yep.
That's a thing all in itself. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right. Yeah, when you hit the when you hit the triple digits, that's like kind of hey.
Right.
Yeah, when you reach 100, you're doing awfully good. That becomes more of a celebration of life than paying.
Yes.
Or that's what I've always thought. 100, that's a real celebration of life.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, I'll give you some places to go if you want to create that.
Scott, do you know what he died of, though?
No, I don't know.
He died from complications of Parkinson's disease.
No kidding.
Oh.
Wow.
And did you know? And did you know that he actually dated Barbara Walters at one point?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Cute.
No
Go
kidding.
Barb.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a great thing to have on his resume, I think.
when you're the money man, when you're the money man, when you have access to all the money in the country, you attract all of them. They all be the man.
Almost makes me wonder if he financed 2020. He got that off the ground if he's got that kind of cabbage. All right, well, I'll tell you what. You want to get closer to 100? I'll give you 10 of the best countries for first-time solo travelers. Get ready for this. I'll read the list off, and everybody can go out there and choose one or two as we continue to move through the show. Lots of great topics to get to us. So, for solo travelers, I don't know what that noise is in the background, but I'm hearing it, but, I don't need hearing aids, but it is what it is. Anyways, first-time travelers, we have Ireland is number 1. Number 2, Thailand. Number 3, Fiji. Number 4, Canada. Don't tell that to Donald Trump, though. Okay. 5, Brazil. Otherwise, they'll tariff you for everything you say on this list. 6, Australia. 7, Iceland. Love that place. 8, Mexico. 9, Costa Rica. And 10, Saudi Arabia. All right, we're going to go a little bit rapid fire on this particular one here. Steve, give me a couple that stand out to you. Or try to.
I think you froze again. Oh, there he is. You're there. We see you.
All right, Steve. Steve. Unless that thunderstorm's in his neck of the woods, I don't know.
I think it might be.
Yeah, Steve, you there?
I'm having horrible internet connection issues here tonight. I guess.
That's okay. All right, did
But
you get that last topic?
what was? I heard the countries, but what was the reason they're listed?
Oh, because they're just good places for solo travelers, is all they are. Best countries for first-time solo travelers. So if you're going by yourself, these are the places they suggest.
He froze again.
Yeah.
Steve.
I think we should come back to Steve.
All right, we'll do that. Go ahead, Eddie. You want to move the
All
show
right,
along?
so I've been to Canada and Mexico, so those are good places. Where I'd like two of my bucket list, Ireland. My sister and her husband actually have bought property and have a house in Ireland. Her husband and that side of the family, and my family too, are our heritage is Irish. And then I'd like to. Australia is also kind of on my bucket list, and actually, Fiji and Thailand would like to go there too. So they all. I kind of like to travel like that and see the world and see different places. And it's always kind of fun. So, yeah.
All right, Steve, you got a couple on this list?
And Iceland, because you say it so much.
Yeah, I had to go on my phone because
that's okay.
The computer wasn't cutting it. Sorry about that.
No, this is much better.
Fine. Okay. Yeah, you're fine.
Hey,
rocking and rolling.
Whatever works for it, Steve.
So what was the list for?
All right. The 10 best countries for first-time solo travelers.
Okay. Yeah. And I've been to several of them.
Yeah,
as a solo traveler or together with people in a group, or
some on my own as a solo, and some I guess you could say in a group. Yeah.
All right, we'll go over the list anyways. Just pick out a couple.
Yeah, the one place I want to go and I haven't been is Fiji.
Okay.
Yeah.
One.
Not really interested in Saudi Arabia. I've done the Middle East.
That was surprising to me.
Yep.
Like Saudi Arabia is the surprising one to me because first of all, I didn't know we're traveling there right now. I wouldn't think that we're traveling there right now. And then solo, I don't know that I would do Saudi Arabia solo.
No.
Yeah, Costa Rica all the way. Costa Rica, definitely solo. I'm surprised that it's really only Ireland from Europe because I always think of like solo travel. Europe is set up for solo travel. And then Ireland is one of the places. But like if you're going to do Ireland, you do Scotland and England all at the same time. Like why? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's what people tend to do. Certainly, when I'm retired, I would like to do all of them for a very long time and just stay everywhere a month and really, really delve in. Brazil is such a party. I think you could easily, just like Costa Rica, you could go, you could hang out, you would make friends so easily. I think solo travel to Brazil, easy peasy. Australia, the same thing because they're very welcoming. They travel a lot, Australians, and they're used to the Kiwis are just across the ocean. Of course, you're going to go over to New Zealand. If you're going to go to Australia, you might as well.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, so give me a couple,
Thailand.
Jen.
Yeah, Thailand, even solo, definitely. I mean, a lot of my friends are skydivers, and there's a big skydiving community in Thailand, and you can go all by yourself. Yeah, that's where they do the big waves when you see like 300 people in the air. Those are all in Thailand because their airport can handle all those airplanes at once. It's very fun, very cool. Interesting.
All right, Candy. Well, you know what? You're our travel agent. Go ahead. You speak for yourself, and I'll see if I get a word in.
Well, I would say I would like to go. I haven't been to Fiji, haven't been to Ireland. I think Ireland would be pretty cool. I have been to Iceland, as most of you all know. I can see where that would be someplace that a solo traveler, because there's a lot of places to like hike and go see the glaciers, see the geysers. They have, there's so many. The Golden Circle, which is, if you don't know, it's almost the rival of Niagara Falls, but in Iceland, and it's formed by the glaciers. There is the volcanic and geothermal activity there. It has the northernmost capital in the world, and it roughly only has 395,000 residents.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's that populated. So the crime there is not like it is in some other places. And Jennifer, I would be really careful about going to like Brazil. Like I remember when the NFL and they went to Brazil and they went to a part of the town that they said, don't go out by yourself.
Right.
So you just got to be careful where in some of these countries.
Even Belize. I went to Belize and everybody was walking around with AK-47s on their back, even teenagers. I was like, what? And I was not ever allowed because I was traveling solo. I was never allowed to leave the hotel by myself, period. And at nighttime, none of us were allowed. And even the awning, there was like the hotel and there was an awning and a restaurant. And the awning was a little bit open. So I was not, as a female, allowed to go from the hotel through the awning to the restaurant by myself.
Okay.
And that was 15 years ago.
And Rio, on the beach in Rio de Janeiro is very crime-ridden.
Right. Yes. Oh, really? I mean, there's pickpocketing, but it's the murders that you got to watch out for.
I've been to Sao Paulo, and there's a lot of them too.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the whole gig, and they just think of that we're the haves and they're the have-nots. So, you paid all the money to get here. Clearly you have money. You can get more. That's kind of the mentality.
Well, listen to everybody on this panel. I want to go to Australia. That would be a good one. Costa Rica is pretty good, and Ireland's not bad either. All right, let's talk. All right, I'll tell you, Jen's getting it. She got this down pat. I'm telling you. So we're going to go from solo places to American history. Why are we doing that? Let's talk about the 7 strange facts about Abraham Lincoln, our president. Oh my God, I love this topic. Okay, get this: 7 strange facts about Abraham Lincoln. The marble version of Lincoln is serious, noble, and carved into a wall in Washington. The real version was a 6'4" barefoot wrestler who told inappropriate jokes during cabinet meetings and stored documents inside of his hat. Let's continue on, okay? Let's talk about that. We talk about a guy who was a licensed bartender before the presidency, before the law, before the speeches that redefined a nation. He co-owned a tavern in Springfield, Illinois. He met the great emancipator poured drinks for a living, and nobody mentions it because it doesn't match the monument. He was an elite wrestler in roughly 300 matches. He only lost once. My God, I wouldn't want that's out of stage. Of course, at 6'4", I wouldn't anyways. He was once challenged during a political speech and threw the opponent to the ground, then turned to the crowd and asked if anyone else wanted to try. It's safe to say he was getting a whole lot. So let's continue the narrative. Okay. And let's go to it. What are other things that stand out? Well, we'll talk about the assassination later, but here's where it really begins, people. He really did keep things in his hat. Lincoln often used his famous stovepipe hat as a storage compartment, stuffing it with letters, people. Okay. Important papers, even money. I'll tell you one thing. Don't tell that to the people in Costa Rica. I don't think they go upstairs to get it. He was a champion wrestler before becoming President. Lincoln was known in Illinois as an elite wrestler, reportedly losing only 1 match out of 300. Pretty good stuff. Whereas Dana White, nobody cares. Okay. Well, they really don't. I mean, he loves cats more than people. Now, I like this guy if you like cats, because I have a service cat. Okay. Lincoln was obsessed with cats. He once fed a cat a formal dinner, a gold fork, and told an official, "Do you think I would let the cat go hungry?" His wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, said cats were his favorite companions. Now, that's my kind of president here. Okay. Take note, Donald Trump. Okay. He was caught. He was taught even by law. Lincoln had less than 1 year of formal schooling. He taught himself nearly everything, including law, by borrowing books and studying on his own. When he passed the bar, he never attended a single law class. I'm telling you, tell me how you did it, Prez, because I'll tell you, that's a good thing. He had a high-pitched voice, despite his towering 6'4" frame. Lincoln's voice was described as surprisingly high and reading or ready, whatever you want to call it. And let's see, he once gave a speech so funny that people fell off their chairs. Lincoln had a wicked sense of humor. Now that's my kind of president. And love storytelling, which is what we all do anyways. One observer wrote during one of the humorous speeches that the crowd was laughing so hard that nearly every people fell off their seats. Last but not least, he once got offered elephants and seriously considered it. After his election, the king of Siam, modern day Thailand, sent Lincoln a letter offering him a gift of elephants to help populate the forests of America. There you go, people. We'll start it off with Eddie. What are your thoughts about Honest Abe?
Well, if you look at Honest Abe, if you look at the pictures that we see of him, don't judge a book by its cover comes to mind, because he looks very not prim, but very, steadfast and very, elite and very this wrestler, barefoot, did this joke teller, made people laugh and fall off. To be honest with you, now hearing this, if you pick what is it? Pick 7 people to have coffee or dinner with. Abe Lincoln would probably be one of them, just because hearing how interesting and diverse he was, and to get your law degree without going to law class, and to become president and do everything that he did, and at the same time kind of have a life, if you will. It shows you can come from diverse backgrounds and do. Again, it kind of goes back to what we were talking earlier about the Home Depot and the Falcons. You can, if you really want to do something, the only thing standing in your way is your mind. If you can get past your mind, you can do it. And these guys are proof of it. And Abe Lincoln's a great example.
Okay, Steve. What did you learn?
Yeah, Lincoln was one of my favorite presidents growing up. I loved reading about him. But can you imagine if he was alive today? He'd be signing a contract with Vince McMahon, and he'd be in a cage match with Roman Reigns, and the president takes him down, right? And that's all. That stuff was awesome, and I love the fact that he had a sense of humor. Everyone thought he was kind of dour because of the way his face looked and everything, but it's nice to know that he had a great sense of humor. And I didn't realize he was that good a wrestler. I knew he was an accomplished one, but 301, that's pretty darn good.
That's very good. Yeah
Get Vince McMahon on the line. Put the president on there.
I mean, you don't really think of a tall, long, lanky guy as good in wrestling. Like, to me, that's the most shock. I never knew that. You guys at least knew. I had no idea.
Well, he was a wood chopper, so
right.
What he was whatever he set himself out to be. Like, to Ed's point, like talking full circle back to resilience, because he didn't run for president and make president. He ran for president and 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 he ran for president. Like, I forget how many times he was rejected. Something like 6 or more. Like, and he always was getting knocked down, and he taught himself to read by candlelight. He taught himself and then got a law degree on his own without court. Like, all of those things are difficult in and of themselves.
Yes.
That's why, to Steve's point, he would make an excellent dinner guest. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, pick that man's brain.
I would have loved to sat down with him at dinner.
Oh yeah.
See, the best part about being an executive producer, I get to read all this stuff before I put it on the air. That's why I can sit back and lay back and watch all y'all comment it. And everything I read about Abe is nothing less than impressive. Great stuff, Jen.
I did hear about the letters. He would put the letters in the lining of his hat for a couple reasons. First of all, no one ever knew they were there, so he could sneak letters in to all kinds of places. that they might not have been allowed, or they might have gotten taken and maybe not ever delivered to their original person. They were kept crease free because it would keep it so it never got wrinkled or anything. And he was a very precise man, allegedly. And then he could bring anything anywhere and just stick it in there, and he had it. He didn't have to stick it in his pocket over there.
But isn't the irony of Abe Lincoln that he signed the order to establish the Secret Service for the protection of the president, and then before that was developed, he was taken out at Ford's Theater.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
he signed the legislation creating the Secret Service. That evening, he was shot at Ford Theater.
How about that? How about that's how it ends?
No. Wait. I'm going to add to that because this is going to be even weirder. I had never heard this. The Secret Service that he signed legislation for came to his protection, but only in death. In 1876, a gang of Chicago counterfeiters attempted to snatch Lincoln's body from his tomb, which was protected by a single padlock in Oak Ridge Cemetery in Springfield, Illinois. Their scheme was to hold the corpse for a ransom of $200,000 and obtain the release of the gang's best counterfeiter from prison. Secret Service agents, however, infiltrated the gang and were lying in wait to disrupt the operation.
Interesting.
Oh, I had never heard.
I love little secret stories like that. Yeah.
That's what you learned here on the Motor City Madness.
All right. I'm so much more educated.
You learn stuff like this, Jen.
I'm enlightened. My jaw was on the ground.
Scott learns us stuff. Scott learns us stuff on Wednesday nights.
That's it. All right, let's continue on. You ready for? We talked about one president. Now we're going to talk about even more of them because they're bizarre facts about the death of every president. Ready for this one? Chester A. Arthur died at age 57 after a cerebral hemorrhage in 1886, only 18 months after the end of his presidency. 2 days before his death, Arthur ordered all of his personal and official papers burned. Let's continue the narrative. Grover Cleveland died at age 71 of coronary sclerosis in 1908. Cleveland, the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, said on his deathbed, "I have tried so hard to do it right." Okay. Benjamin Harrison died.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Yeah, until Trump. Okay. Until Trump. All right. Well, don't worry. I got more. Hang there with you. This is just getting interesting now, especially as I go to the presidents here. Benjamin Harrison died of pneumonia at age 67 in 1901. 5 years before his death, he married a 37-year-old woman who was his dead wife's niece. His 2 children, age 41 and 38, did not approve of the marriage.
I bet not.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Okay, in September 1908, William McKinley was shot by anarchist Leon Zagolos.
Anarchist.
8 days. Yeah, I'll take that pronunciation better than what I did. Boy, this guy knows a heck of a lot about this stuff. My pronunciation on this name is bad to the bone. 8 days later, he died at age 58 from gangrene resulting from the gunshot wound, the third president to be assassinated after Lincoln and Garfield. Teddy Roosevelt died in his sleep after coronary embolism and rheumatism in 1919 at the age of 60. A fellow politician remarked death had to take Roosevelt sleeping for if he had been awake, and there would have been a fight. William Howard Taft died of heart disease 1930 at the age of 72. He is remembered as the heaviest president and weighed 340 pounds. I don't think they had McDonald's back then to get to that number anyway during his president, but 340 pounds for press. I don't know if they had tailors or what kind of clothing stores, but I guarantee he wasn't a 36. Woodrow Wilson died of a stroke in 1924 at age 67. He's the only president to be buried in Washington, D.C. city limits. And if you're looking to visit, Washington National Cathedral. Warren G. Harding died from a cerebral hemorrhage in 1923 at age 57. He was aware he had heart condition for a few months before his death. Thought he had hid it from the public. Guess not. Calvin Coolidge died of a heart attack in 1933. Shortly before his death, Coolidge confided to an old friend, "I feel I no longer fit in with these times." Evidently not. Rest in peace, Mr. Coolidge. And if it makes you feel any better, there's Coolidge Highway in Oak Park, Michigan. So there you go. I don't know if it was named after you, though. All right. Herbert Hoover died from a massive internal bleeding in October 1964. He was 90 and only the second president to reach that age after John Adams. Well, that's pretty good stuff. There you have it. Okay, Eddie, what are your thoughts about this group?
I don't even. Yeah, there's a conspiracy theory. I'm looking for the conspiracy theory on how they all died. I'm trying to look how they're all linked with the conspiracy theory. I think it was. I don't know. There's got to be something there. I don't know. I don't know. Really, I don't really have anything on that one, Scott. I can't. I'm going to pass to Steve.
Go ahead.
Well, Taft, as you said, weighed 340 pounds. When he would take in a ball game, they had to remove the arm between the seats so he could fit, because he took up 2 seats.
Wow.
No kidding, really.
Yeah. And Grover Cleveland, now I knew a lot about him because I lived in Massachusetts. When he was president, he used to visit his aunt in the town, and her house is still there. And so there was a lot of stuff around town about him. And, he was a frequent visitor there. But again, I mean, some of these guys, they didn't live to be very old for one reason or another. I know that, Harding may have passed away when he found out that his love child, I think I mentioned this once before on the show,
I think
was
so.
going to go public with it about who was the dad, before Maury Povich, But yeah, McKinley was assassinated and died of gangrene. You wonder today, would he have survived with that? And again, that's a typical conversation we've had on this show.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah.
But yeah, some good stuff there, Scott.
Thanks, Steve. Jen?
I mean, everybody dies of something sometime. A lot of those people died pretty early. A little untimely, 60 years old, my goodness gracious. But, things were a lot different back then. I mean, we're living a lot. Well, actually, I think it's our generation that is going to be the peak. And they're saying every generation after Gen X is potentially going to start dying younger because of our McDonald's. And I mean, can we say it is our FDA, our Food and Drug Administration? I think they go a little heavier on the drug, a little less on the food, because our food is now drugs and our drugs are drugs, and everything is just drugs, and vaccines, which are drugs. So we have all that, but there's a tipping point of that too. And I don't know. I mean, I just recently found out John Adams is actually in my family. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow, no kidding.
Wow,
my friend's husband, she was always like, oh, her husband clearly looks like a descendant of John Adams. And then I found out through my grandfather's mother. And when you see that, like clear as day, I have a different shaped face, but they all have that long thing, like with the nose. And I'm like, so I called my friend. I'm like, I'm related to your husband.
Who knew?
But apparently he got around, because I don't know her husband other than from her husband at all.
Okay, Candy?
So yeah, Taft is remembered as the heaviest. But did you know that before he was president, he became Chief Justice in 1921? His health was starting to decline. He carefully planned a fitness regimen. He walked 3 miles from his home to the Capitol every day and back.
Wow.
Oh wow.
He
Wow.
he was down to 244 pounds.
Wow, that's a lot. He lost a whole
No
person.
kidding.
Yeah,
Great-
he lost the whole
Great
person.
stuff, Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Jen
That's
may have the
impressive.
line
Well, I
now.
heard
That
there's a
is
recent
impressive.
report. I don't know the airline, but I hear there's a recent report of an airline that's actually charging for 2 seats for an obese person. I don't remember. If I find it on here, I'll do
Sounds
it.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, if
Is
if
it
you're
Southwest?
if you are the size of some people, and there's no way you're fitting in one chair, so you have to take up 2 seats.
No.
You know.
Anything else you want to add to it, Candy?
No, I'm good.
Okay, let's talk about our feature topic of the night. A lot of people wondered about it. The title says it all. Let's talk about the best state fairs in America. And here we have it. I have 10 of them. The Texas State Fair out in Dallas. Of course, a lot of people know about the Cotton Bowl. It's connected to that one. You got the Minnesota State Fair out in St. Paul, Minnesota. Iowa State Fair in Des Moines, Iowa. Get that. Wisconsin State Fair in West Dallas. Candy, you think you know a little bit about that one?
I know a whole lot.
Well, we'll give you a blow-by-blow in a moment after I go through the list. The Big E in West Springfield, Massachusetts. I bet SB knows a little bit about that one. You have the Indiana State Fair in Indianapolis, Indiana. North Carolina State Fair in Raleigh, North Carolina. You have the Oklahoma State Fair in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Then you have the Arizona State Fair in Phoenix, Arizona, and the Kentucky State Fair in Louisville. All right, let's go over the list, and we'll start off with Eddie. Any of these stand out?
No, I haven't been to any of them, but state fairs just sound like a fun, they're a fun, fun time. Probably get you a little cotton candy, get your hot dog, ride the Ferris wheel, do all that fun stuff. Don't have really any state fair down here. I'm kind of in the burbs of the city, so it's not state fairish type atmosphere. So, but it's good. I've gone to some. My wife's side of my wife and her side of the family. Her mom was from Tennessee, and her dad is from down southwestern Virginia. Grew up on a farm, so very. When I think state fairs, I think of country. I think of more rural areas. That, like you said, Oklahoma. I think some of the other places. So, and I've kind of been to small fairs down out in Tennessee and down in the. So always a fun time. And those, you know what? And when you go to the South, I will say this, and like the Tennessee area, friendliest people you want to meet. It's not like as you come up through Virginia and you start going up and you cross the Mason-Dixon line. Yeah, if you cross the Mason-Dixon line, nobody cares twice about it. But you go down south, you go to the Carolinas, go to Georgia, go down there. Everybody's family down there. Come on in. Come on. I mean, eat some more food. You're not eating enough.
Okay, Steve.
I've been to the one in Massachusetts, and honestly, I don't give it high marks at all. I had a horrible time there. Being from there, I was expecting great and wonderful things, but maybe it was just that particular day, but I didn't go back. I've been to the one in North Carolina. That was really fun. Half a bottle of Jim Beam later, it was even more fun.
That doesn't hurt.
No, it makes you want to sing along with every song that's playing and all that. So, off key and very loud, but singing nonetheless. Yeah. Now, the Texas State Fair was absolutely awesome. The food, everything. Went to the Cotton Bowl, right? And then that Sunday, because I was covering the Patriots, so they were playing Dallas. So I'm talking about what a weekend. Okay, the state fair, we ate so much food. I think I gained 20 pounds in a day, because all we did was walk around and eat constantly. And that was such an awesome place. They also had an off-road track set up where Toyota had all their, like 4-wheel drive vehicles that you could sign up and take for a test ride on the track.
Really?
Texas State Fair. I mean, I haven't been to the other ones, but boy, that gets high marks in my book. I'd go back there in a second.
Okay, Jen.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, everything is actually bigger in Texas. I did live there for 2.5 years. I worked there even longer, and it does get to claim its fame, especially at a state fair. Now, I haven't been to that exact state fair. I've been to the Texas rodeos, though, which is like a state fair. I mean, those I had so much fun. I am a rodeo girl and never knew it before. Like hook, line, and sinker, I'm in. And California, we have rodeos too. Who knew? They're up in Central, but yeah. So I mean, if I were to think, like, of course, Texas is going to have a tremendous state fair. And then you go Oklahoma, Iowa, I would say, I mean, without a doubt, right? Like to Ed's point, like absolutely the southern states and the Northwest, the Midwest states, like they know how to do rodeo. And so then I think they know how to do state fair, because to me, they're kind of hand in hand. It is animals, although it is fried things that you never knew you could fry and eat.
Exactly right.
All kinds of everything. And then it turns out to be good. Like they were like fried butter. I'm like, what? A stick of butter and you stick stuff around it. And for God's sakes, it's drippingly delicious. Like I had a heart attack just thinking about it, like fried avocado, fried bacon, fried ants, fried Twinkies. Now I did
fried
try
Twinkies.
That is amazing. Why would you do that to me like that? I love the fried Twinkies and the fried Rolos. That was amazing.
Fried pickles too.
Fried pickles are tremendous. All these things I never knew. They're so good, and that's why I can't go. But I like to go to the fair for the concerts. But then, if you're going to go in the other, I mean, you always want to go to the concert, but like the animal stuff is so cool, and the pig races, and I just think there's different entertainment at a state fair than any other type of venue. And so the Minneapolis one I would definitely want to check out, because it's so cold there all the time that I think when they get, when it's warm enough to have state fair, they probably just go crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, Candy, go ahead. We know you're going to talk about West Dallas.
So I can honestly say that both of my grandmothers have won blue ribbons at the Wisconsin State Fair for different things that they have cooked, baked, made. I can say that the state fair for Wisconsin literally was just August 6th through the 16th. One of my friends was there. They had, as you're saying, unusual or different items: pickle pizza, Nashville hot fried mozzarella, deep fried dot cake, lemon berry cheese curds, fruit that Lulu Tangy Candies fruit skewers. I mean, and what I'm going to say that that Wisconsin and their what they're really known for is their cream puffs. The state
I thought
fair,
they were known for cheese curds. They're cream puffs?
Yeah, I was going to say cheese curds.
They serve over 400,000 cream puffs at the state fair, which is selling them at a rate of 50 to 60 every minute. It's crazy. Yeah, they're known for it. They've been known for it for years. I can tell you that I've been to the Wisconsin State Fair numerous times. Yeah, they're selling 50 to 60 per minute in 11 days for the cream puffs. That's one of the big things in their 11-day run.
Wow.
That they,
when I went to the Texas State Fair, my wife had lived quite a portion of her young life there. And she said, you have to go to the guy that sells these enormous corn dogs. And it looked like a corn dog on a hockey stick. That's how huge it was. And I was like, right? Because I was talking with the guy. We were waiting in line forever. The line was long. So I said, I've been hearing about these, I told him a story about my wife, and he was like, oh, you're going to love it. Well, when he handed it to me, I was like, holy crap, right? And I was like, how many of these are you selling? And right behind him was 2 refrigerated semi-trailers.
Wow.
And he said, those are, when we got here, those were full. And by the time the fair's over, those will be empty.
Wow.
And it was like, it was like a corn dog on a hockey stick. I mean, that thing was enormous. So I was like, that thing was like 18, 19 inches long.
Goodness gracious.
And
I knew this. See, I knew this was going to be a great topic. Everybody's got something to say, but you want some? I am going to say one thing about
I like to eat. So.
Oh my God.
Well,
there you go.
That is. Yeah,
decadent stuff there.
My bucket list has grown. Who knew I was going to add all these crazy state fairs to my bucket list?
They've been selling cream puffs at the Wisconsin State Fair since 1924.
Interesting.
Over 100 years.
See, I've seen the Wisconsin State Fair by distance. I want to get to the Milwaukee Mile and get behind one of those race cars and go wild.
That's part of the fair. There's the Milwaukee Mile. There's the livestock barns. There's all kinds of other exhibits. There's the rodeo, and then they have the concerts. I will tell you, I saw a concert there. I saw Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Really? No kidding. Wow.
Way back.
That's awesome.
All right. You ready for an interesting story from me on this one? Because I got a good one. When I first started in this industry, and I was producing at WXYZ, I mentioned that earlier, and there's a reason why. I had an opportunity to do a remote show at the Michigan State Fair, and you know who was sitting alongside of me? Ready for this? Dick Night Train Lane.
Wow.
Lane. Yeah. And Dick and I wish I would have had camera phones back. Oh, that would have been unbelievable. Dick, and we had a great time. We were talking football, and then I was screening calls on site. Dick Night Train Lane, for all you football people out there, and the Motor City Man Mouth are making memories back in the day when there were none of this technology at all. So I love every one of your stories. And yes, Steve, the Texas State Fair is now on my bucket list too.
I know where gotta go. And then
I'm dragging candy.
It's the Cotton Bowl's there, and then they always have it on the day that Texas, Oklahoma, the big football game. Right?
Yeah, interesting. The UTO.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, they call it the Red River Shootout. Yeah, Terry Osowski, what a great person. Look forward to seeing you on our own. A few more topics I want to get to, whatever ones we don't, we'll carry over to next week or the week after. And that's it. Unfortunately, it's been under a year, but former Yankees player Jesus Montero died in Venezuela 2 weeks after a motorcycle crash. He was 35. You know what? We'll make this a rapid fire one. I used to drive motorcycles a long time ago, and I enjoyed dirt bikes, but this is a shame that a guy like this guy here, he was still in his MLB career, dies of a motorcycle crash. Motorcycle crashes are what they are. We're going to go rapid fire this. Rest in peace, by the way, Jesus Montero. Your thoughts, Eddie?
Well, yeah, obviously, rest in peace. It's always a tragedy when anybody dies, especially somebody who's young. 35 is a young person. I don't know if he has any family, father. Is he a dad, husband, etc. I know people who like ride motorcycles. I know a friend of mine who's a big motorcycle rider for the longest time, slid his bike and wrecked it bad. Survived, but got rid of the bike and is now riding on 4 wheels all the time. But no, it's sad.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, as a longtime 25-year Harley rider, I feel for his family. I mean, I've been in several motorcycle wrecks myself, but I was able to walk away from them with varying degrees of road rash. But able to walk away nonetheless. But I know, those things are motorcycle wrecks are very unforgiving. So feel for his family.
Yeah, all right, Jen.
Yeah, it's harsh. I mean, I love motorcycles. I love riding. I ride Princess now. I no longer ride Bitch. Now that I know that this princess seat exists, I sit there. I do like riding on the back of a Harley or an Indian. I know that that's very controversial. But I've lost friends to motorcycles since I was 20 years old, and it's never easy. In fact, I call her my pseudo daughter. My friends' kids are my pseudo kids, and she just lost the father of her 6 babies to a motorcycle accident just a month ago, and so it's always awful, and especially at such a young age. I don't think that we should ban motorcycles though, but I would love it if we had roads where motorcycles could ride, not dirt bike, like not, you know what I mean? Like just where motorcycles could just be safer, especially where it just move the diesels out, I think, as one thing, but I don't know. I think we have a lot to be examined still in the way our roads are ridden upon.
And I think people have to be more aware. I think people are driving distracted nowadays, and it's becoming even worse.
You think?
with everything, and yeah, exactly. I know not all motorcycle. I mean, and then sometimes, people need to be more aware. And then some of the motorcycle riders, I'm not saying all of them, they may, if it's I know I've seen it here in DC. If the traffic's bad, some of them will go ride on the shoulder. They'll ride between the cars. They'll do stuff like that. That is dangerous. That if somebody doesn't see, and so yeah, it's almost like they need like they have bike lanes on some of the local roads we have around here, because we have a high bike a lot of people bike on roads around here nowadays. They almost need like a motorcycle lane in some places to make it better.
See, Katie, I saw you using cell phones. I wouldn't be surprised if that has a lot to do with them. Go ahead, take it.
I'll be there.
Well, yeah, we were talking about being distracted when we drive. I also think that sometimes motorcyclists take liberties. They have to remember that they're on the road with the cars, so they have to observe everything just like a car. So and in the same breath, if I'm driving a car and I'm behind a motorcyclist, you have to remember that you have to leave enough space between you. And I think these days we drive a little too aggressive. We're too much in a rush. And so I think everybody is that way. And yes, to your point, Ed, I've seen motorcyclists, and this kind of irks me at times when traffic is backed up. Oh, there's just enough room for me to get in between the cars.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a minute. And now all of a sudden I can start speeding up, but now I've got to wait because this motorcyclist thought they could. So I think we just all have to respect the rules of the road, both motorcyclists and those of us that aren't in a motorcycle.
Well, when I see them doing that, I get that you see it in the movies sometimes. They go and you want to open your door and watch them go flipping. I'm not going to do it, but you just yeah, it actually
exactly right.
To your point,
please don't do that.
Yes, now to your point, Candy, about leaving space, I like to leave space for various reasons. Just because, honestly, I was taught one time you leave space also in case something happens, you get rear-ended. Where let's say there's an active shooter, you can get out. You can get you're not wedged in. Mm-hmm. I will literally do that on a road that's not highly congested. It's like a 2-lane. It's our main 2-lane road, and I'll do that at a light. Somebody will come in and swoop it into. It's probably like a car length and a half. I'll leave in front of me. Somebody will actually come past me and swoop in right in front of me. And they're like, it's like, to your point, everybody's in a rush. It's like. And then you pass, then they move into the other lane because the other guy's not going fast enough. And then I pass them, just kind of going down the road. It's annoying, but
technology, though, to your point, Candy, when you're talking about, it's not just that it's distracting; it's actually reprogramming our brains, and it gives us anxiety. And and that's why kids have such anxiety and depression. Is it's actually triggered by the actual scrolling of the phone. Like the way the phone is designed is exactly like gambling. You know what I mean? So it hits on its triggers and addictions. And then we're all programmed for anxiety and all this, and then you get behind the wheel and you have that and you just go, everybody, right? And that's where, I mean, it all simmer down, we all need to. I grew up in California, and so splitting lanes for motorcycles has been around since way before I was ever even, driving. And so I am used to looking and watching for them, but that doesn't mean that I see them every single time. And now you're adding e-bikes onto it, which are, a lot of them are motorcycles. You know what I mean? Like, they're motorbikes, and they're some of them can go up to 60 miles an hour. I mean, that's,
oh, are they? Oh, can they? Oh.
Some of them can, and so it's interesting, because I was thinking about opening a store, and now I'm kind of really glad I didn't, because they're so under fire, but it's an interesting conversation. And the danger really in the e-bikes were invented by a guy who wanted to take the pressure off of his knees. And he's the one that came up, and it's literally a napkin. Pedigo is a napkin business, back of the napkin on the bar, in a bar business. And so he invented it for that. And now you have the kids who are doing it, but they don't know the rules of the road. They don't know how to respect that a driver can't see them. And that's, I think, the most dangerous part. And I think motorcycles get that too. Like, they're so used to maneuvering in and around that they take the offensive lane, that role. And in doing that, you can get tackled very easily by people who don't even maybe mean to tackle you, So
but aren't e-bikes just 2026 version of the moped?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
And maybe a little fancier,
right?
Because I saw, the first time I saw one, I was with a buddy of mine, and I like, that's a moped.
Yeah.
I know, that's a bike that you can pedal it or you can ride it. So I thought that was, it's like everything comes back around anyway.
Just like
I've got one more topic.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt everybody. I have one more topic I need to get to. We have the Sports Exchange coming around 9:05 Eastern time. I love the discussion amongst you four. It's been great to watch everybody and slip something in every once in a while. This is unbelievable, this group, Steve. We've had a lot of interesting groups. What do you think of this group collectively? We've been doing this from the beginning, Steve.
Love it. I love it. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, I promised I'd go out there and throw everything out. And so Jen sees a lot of things for the first time, and I meant it. So Fox 13 reports that Ron DeSantis signed a death warrant for a man who killed a woman he met at a Florida bar 44 years ago. Dennis Michael Soccer, 74, strangled a woman at a New Year's celebration. Now, let's face it. I don't have 10, 20 minutes to talk about this one, but I will say one thing about our governor in Florida. Ron DeSantis is a no-nonsense governor, and he's going to get rid of these people. And I'm sure that as I continue to bring these stories into the program, that you're going to find out that there's been some unbelievable execution stuff. But all right, Jen, well, let's just go to the top. We have one more. Maybe I could sneak another one in. But Edward, your thoughts about the governor? No nonsense. He got rid of a guy sitting out there 44 years ago. Justice finally got handled here. Eddie.
Oh, I'm all for justice and karma. If the judicial system can't handle it, I believe that society and the world has a way of handling it. It's karma. It's whatever you want to call it. It's the governor signing whatever he signed. So no, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm kind of an eye for an eye type guy. Right. You don't take a life for any unless it's in self-defense. But no, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. This guy went out there and strangled the lady, and that's bad stuff. It really did. I have no use for that. Steve?
Yeah, my only issue is, why was this guy on death row for 44 years?
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's why, right. He was convicted. He was put on death row, and then he's sitting there for 44 years. I mean, that's ridiculous. And, I've seen a lot of things in the newspaper. They're like, well, he's old now. Well, yeah, well, the lady isn't old, who could have been, right? So I'm sorry. It's long overdue.
44 years of life that she didn't get.
Well,
yeah,
exactly.
That's it. Now, pardon the pun here, but he's trying to get rid of a lot of dead weight in the prison system.
But get rid of
Well,
them.
I mean,
Like, what, I
yeah,
mean,
I
they're
mean,
on death row.
yeah. Here's the whole thing. I mean, to Steve's point, he was on death row, but it's not even in Florida. If you look at death row across the country, there's a whole issue with prisoners sitting on death row and eating taxpayers' money for crimes they've been committed. You know, there's the judicial system is broken, both for good and bad,
It is.
and it doesn't protect those who it does, and it kind of burdens society with keeping those alive who shouldn't be. And then sometimes you have prisoners take care of things in prison, and then it helps.
Great point. I'm glad you brought the prisoners back. All right, Jen, go ahead.
Oh, I thought I did.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Yeah, I lose it every once in a while like this, trying to keep everything. We're going to go ahead, Candy. Yeah, the last word. I'm going to get one more topic in that I really need to get in. Go ahead, Candy.
He was convicted of killing an 18-year-old after meeting her at a bar in Fort Lauderdale following a New Year's Eve celebration. He received a death sentence in 1982 and remained in prison on death row for 4 decades through various legal appeals. That's the part of the system that's broken. We shouldn't be able to appeal and appeal and appeal and appeal for 4 decades.
Okay.
That's the problem. We're in a litigious society. Everything is, just look at our president and all the lawyers he's got working for him. Anyway.
I mean, I don't want to take away the appeal because, certainly there are plenty of situations that, the appeal is necessary and people are wrongly convicted sometimes. And I think appeals are necessary and valid. But to your point, if you keep losing, like why do you?
Yeah, at 44 years, where's the streak stop?
I mean, yeah, I don't.
Okay, one more topic I want to get to real quickly. The French Open produced the least watched final in 20 years at Roland Garros as the men's final drew 1.3 million viewers on TNT, down 25% from last year's Alcaraz Center matchup. Okay, Eddie, real quickly, what are your thoughts about the French Open's decline?
Who was in the final? It was probably possibly because who was in the final. I'm not a tennis buff by any stretch of the imagination.
They just said,
but
the only thing they just put out there is they just said it was down 20 years.
I'm going to say there's probably 2 relative unknowns in the final. And then
that's fair enough. Why. Okay, Steve, some thoughts. Candy's going to research it because
I'm not a big tennis person, so I mean, I don't really have an opinion on that one.
No, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead,
Jen.
No, go ahead. No. Well, I was just going to say, I think it's down to the marketing, and to Ed's point, it was probably not worth the dollars to squeeze because if no one knows the names anyway, you're going to hype up what? But I didn't even hear about it. I think TD overall has turned into a chore. Like watching anything anymore is like, what channel, what system are you going to go through? What like everything is and then when like everything's work these days where it used to be, okay, everybody knows the US Open's on at, this time we're all going to gather in a bar, whatever, you know what I mean? Gather at a party, gather in a bar. Like, I don't think people are doing it even so much. I think all sports you're going to see are kind of going down.
Great points. I agree. I only watch what I have to, Jen. That validates your point. Candy, I know you have the information.
I'm the only tennis fan on the panel here tonight. But yeah, part of the steep drop was people that were no longer in the tournament. Novak Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner, they all left early on. The finals was between Alexander Zverev and Flavio Kobali. And it didn't have Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and those big names that we've seen for years and years. That's part of the reason why it's dropped. And to your point, Jennifer, with streaming services and all these other things, is everybody watching? Where are they watching? How are they watching?
Right.
It's very convoluted these days. I mean, it takes 15 minutes just to figure out what you're going to.
Yeah, it'll take us a lot longer to figure that one out. All right, one carryover topic that'll be on next week, just so everybody knows. We're going to talk about the U.S. government bailing out Argentina during a financial crisis during the government shutdown. That'll be on next week's episode of the Motor City Madmouth. Glad we got to everything else. Glad we got another person on the panel who is in the eyes of Jimmy Walker. She's dynamite again. All of you are dynamite about Jen. Hey, listen, we're going to bring on a lot of interesting stuff. And I know first impressions or anything with her. Of course, it's not a first impression with me. I've known her a long time. She was outstanding, and I adore her big time, and she's just a great friend. So maybe we'll bring on Will Person once in a while as a special guest as well. But you better make sure when you talk about this show, this isn't about bobsledding. This is about anything, and now you got to taste what we're doing here.
I got it.
All right, Andy, one more station break. We go to the Sports Exchange in a couple of minutes.
South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by our host, Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth, talks about his 40-plus years in the business, how it has evolved, old school media versus new school media. Get your copy today. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. Audiobook is also out there. There's a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where there's a plethora of great content, so go check it out. If you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. If you ever want to advertise or be on a show, email us at southfloridatribune@gmail.com. Last but not least, if you see the red subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, that means you have not yet subscribed to us. What are you waiting for? Just click it, like us, share us with all your friends and family, and turn on your notifications every time we go live. We have 2 YouTube channels. One of them is Destination Discoveries Media Network. Up in the upper left right now, that is the QR code for Destination Discoveries Media Network. That is all about travel. All about travel. Go see where we've been, what kind of videos we have up there. The other YouTube channel is South Florida Tribune's YouTube channel, and that is up there in the right top left right now as well. Back to you, Scott.
All right. Well, with that said, let's go around the horn real quickly. Jen, let everybody know how they can get a hold of you. You do some great things, and we're going to be incorporating those into the topics as you show up every single week. Tonight, at least you got a feel for how we go about it. Any first impressions of what you experienced tonight, Jen?
I had so much fun. Thank you so much. I didn't quite know what to expect. I have really enjoyed it. I always enjoy my time with you, and I thank you tremendously for having me on.
Oh, don't worry. You're one of us now. Yeah, we have a date with all of us have a date with Jennifer every Wednesday, right, Jen? Right, sweetheart? I hope so.
Absolutely. I'm here every week.
Every week. She added some. Steve, I got it right with the 5th person, didn't we? Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let everybody know they can reach you, buddy.
You can find me on Twitter at SteveB7SFG. I write for PatsFans.com. We have a podcast coming up tomorrow about Patriots and Eagles joint practices, but in a shameless bit of self-promotion, as you know, I'm a senior defense editor for National Security Journal, and this Saturday, I should have sent you the clip. I was interviewed on CNN at 7 o'clock on their evening show. So,
well, Steve, you know what? If you ever want to send a clip, I'll tell you what. You send us a clip, and we'll put it on this show. How does that sound? If you can get it.
Yeah, we got a rock star on our show.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know about Eddie, that, but yes, that was kind of cool.
Well, I'm glad you got recognized by CNN. Great stuff, SB. All right, we have a date in Naples before long, and Andy Canavino, when he gets out in November, is going to join us, and I'll explain to you off camera. Okay, all right, Eddie, go ahead. We got the Sports Wrap tomorrow. Put it out there where they can reach out.
If you haven't had enough of me yet with Scott, you can watch me one more night, tomorrow night, at Sports Wrap. You can also see me Tuesday night on Inside the Big Skin, and you can see me here on the Motor City Madmouth show, trying to survive a third show with Scott. No, kidding you, Scott. Love being here. You can also find me on all social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and all of them. So, Ed McAndrew. So.
Well, I'll say one last time, I'm proud of this group. Looking forward to seeing them every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Motor City Madmouth Show. On behalf of Ed, on behalf of Steve, on behalf of Jennifer, and on behalf of Candy, our crack research specialist. My name is Scott Morganroth, Motor City Madmouth. Thank you for joining us. The Sports Exchange is next. See you next Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Time. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll have plenty more. Hey, so we have a lot more to say. Good night, everybody.